Bless. Good day. Look at the camera. Good day. Blessings to you all. I hope you're all well. I started work about just over 3 hours now. I start work very early in the morning, which I'm more productive in the mornings, so it's perfect for me. And I've been thinking about how over the past week or two I've been listening to my body, and my body has been rewarding me for that. Usually I would go by my external things and I would react upon those things. So for instance, you know, the whole breakfast, lunch and dinner. Breakfast, you have it in the morning, lunch around 12, 1, depending on where you're from. Dinner, I don't know, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever. Obviously it depends on where you are. But now I've started to listen to my body and only eat when I feel hungry. And yesterday, for instance, I had a bowl, I had some rice, I had a kimchi stir fry, and I had avocado, tomatoes, olives, and I had that around 1, 2 o'clock, and that was the only meal I had throughout the day. And in my mind, I was like, I need to have something else before I rest. That was, okay, so I had that, 1, 2 o'clock, I had that. And in my mind, I was saying to myself, I need to have something else before I go to sleep. So it got to around 5, 6 o'clock, and I could still feel the food in my stomach. I could still feel it. Usually I would go ahead and have another meal simply because it is dinner time, or, you know, it's later on in the evening. And I would still, the food, the first meal would still be there. But yesterday it got to around 5, 6, and I was like, you know, my body is, I can still feel it breaking down the food from previously, and I didn't need any other food in my body. I felt it. And as I was resting, as I was going to sleep, I felt so light and I felt good within myself. And usually, like I said, it would get to the evening and I'd feel like, okay, I need to eat. Okay, you know, this is how I've been conditioned, breakfast, lunch, dinner. This is how I'm going to eat. This is how it's going to go. And like I said, it's been over a week now. I've started listening to my body, and not just with instincts, because that's also listening to your body, listening to your system. It's more so, I focus more so on my eating habits. And I've always been that craven child. I've been that child, that person who always takes more than they need. My eyes were too big for my belly. And throughout life, that's how I went through it. You know, I'd have these huge portions to the point where I was full, but I would keep going because there's still food. My eyes are so big. I can see the food on my plate, so it needs to be eaten. So I've been like that throughout my whole life, you know. I would call myself a real foodie, which I am. I love quality food, but I would think to myself that, well, I thought that I liked big portions of food, when in reality, my eyes were too big for my belly. My eyes were infatuated, I think that's the word. They were loving what they could see. So in a sense, I wanted that inside of my body. Whereas now, I'm only eating when my body tells me it wants food. And it is now 9:44, and I've had a tea. I had a dandelion leaf and ashwagandha tea. I've just finished it now. I'm going to have some fresh orange juice, freshly squeezed orange juice, water if I need to. And if it gets to the point where I'm hungry, I will eat actual food. And I'm not just going to eat anything. I'm trying to get back onto the eating more plant-based, because here's the thing. I will eat well, and then I would eat processed food, and then when I've opened that palette of mine, I just see a tunnel vision. I just want every processed food in sight. But now I'm kind of like falling in love with plant-based and vegetables and fruits and just plant-based things. And not to say they have to be vegetables and plants in their natural form. Like, for instance, I have a cereal, I can't remember what it's called, I'll have to remember the name, where it's made out of quinoa and amaranth, and that is natural in a sense, where I could be having cornflakes or something else. Not to say I always have it, but that option is there for me. And also I could just make a sweet dish. If I'm feeling for something sweet, I could just make a sweet dish. I know, like, dates with dates in itself, they're natural sweets and they're very filling. So I love dates. So with me listening to my body, I found that I feel more lighter, and not necessarily in weight, but in like how my body feels. It's been too often where my body feels bloated and full, and I just feel really sleepy because I just eat. I just eat to the point where my body, I'm backed up, and it takes a while for your food to break down. But what I was doing is I'd have a meal, and if I'm still hungry, I'd have something else, and I'll just be eating to the point where my body is just, my belly's bloated, I feel groggy, I just want to sleep. And not to say that is the only reason why my bloatedness, I know and understand that. That is definitely not the only reason, but I have found that I didn't really give my body time to break down the foods, and in essence that was one of the main causes of bloatedness. And also sometimes you're not hungry, your body is just dehydrated. So what I've learned to do is, if I feel like my body is hungry, I will drink a bottle of water, or drink some water, and see if I'm still hungry. 9 times out of 10, I'm no longer hungry. My body's just dehydrated, so it's sending alerts throughout my body. Like I said, it's not just food in terms of like listening to your body, it's instincts as well. You know, your body is so powerful, and if only we all listen to our bodies when there's danger, in terms of hunger, in terms of, you know, pain in your body. You know, sometimes, for instance, your knee might be hurting, and then your right knee will be hurting, and then you could just, I don't know, if you just lead up, I can't really explain it, but if you follow the pain kind of thing, it might lead to, I don't know, the right side of your brain, or, you know, like everything is connected. And yeah, I guess if we just all listen to ourselves more, we'll get a lot more out of life. And I don't even have any notes today. I just said to myself, I'm just gonna go with it and speak what's been on my mind, because my body has been rewarding me. I wanted to share that, and I know not everyone's body is the same, but I'm just sharing it from my experience. I've been plant-based for about 10 years, over 10 years. I can't even remember like life before that. And I drink my herbs daily. I take my herbs daily. I work out daily. I meditate. I look after my mind, my body, my soul. I take good care of myself as best as I can. And when I know better, when I learn something new, I do better. And that's how I live life. And yeah, from when you take care of yourself, you can take care and love others. You have more to give, because you can't pour from an empty cup. That's why when I work on self, I know from when I work on self, I'm working on others as well, if that makes sense. So anyway, yeah, just quickly back to what I was saying about the whole food thing. And also I feel like it's been drilled in us that we need to eat at these specific times, when in reality, you know, just because it's 3 o'clock, oh, I need to have my lunch. It's been drilled in us, you know. Is time even real? Time is not real. Time is man-made. But anyway, that's a completely different video. But yeah, I honestly feel so good, and I just wanted to make this video, and I will definitely keep you all updated. If you have any thoughts, or, you know, how do you eat? How do you listen to your body? I look forward to hearing from it. I will see you in my next video. Bless.